Hello guys and welcome to my channel. My name is Jesper Offersen and today we are going to talk about a sunscreen. I have listened to some of you asking if I could find something that was good for oily skin, and we have tried out some sunscreens on this channel here that are supposed to be for oily skin, and some of the feedback I get is that it doesn't really work that well and so on, and I guess it depends on how oily your skin is and what sort of creams you're using underneath and so on. There can be a lot of factors that are at play when something is not working as it is supposed to work, or as you think it would work, because that is what the manufacturer says or promises. So I came across this one here the other day. So this is a sunscreen that is SPF 30, but it is not something that is said to be for oily skin or anything like that, but it is supposed to be giving a sort of a non-greasy feel, and they say you should avoid your eye areas and stuff like that, which means that they have thought that people would use this on the face as well. So I tried it on the face, and we'll just have a little look at how it performs on my skin a little later. But first to say, one thing is that they say up here it's a new product. I'm not sure how new it actually is. I think you could have got this for quite a while. But in here, the sun filters that they have used are the modern filters. So again, you cannot get it in America because of FDA and all those sort of rules. So this is what you in America would call a European sunscreen. So there are some of the old UV filters in here, so like octocrylene, and that's not that great really. And then there is some of the new ones, and there is avobenzone for UVA, so an old favorite with sunscreen users, but it doesn't last that long, and that is one of the reasons you need to reapply. But in this product here, there are some of these new UV filters as well, and they are rather photostable, and what it means is that they are actually protecting avobenzone, so it will make avobenzone last much longer. But still, it might be a good idea to reapply a little bit more often than just use it maybe once a day, particularly if you are using it if you go to the beach. If you're just running around in and out of offices and stuff like that, maybe just put it on in the morning, and then don't go sunbathing as such. This is an SPF of 30, it says down here, and there is this little thing here down here. You have the UVA in a circle, which means that UVA is at least a third of the stated SPF, which is for the UVB. I will say, when you look at the back up here, it says there are 3 stars, which you can maybe see here, and what it means is that with the Boots system here in the UK, it means that the UVA is, I would say, barely or just about a third of the SPF. It has to be at least a third, so I would say with only 3 stars it is around a third and not that much more, because if it was equal to the SPF, it would have 5 stars. So 3 stars, it cannot be equal. So is a third of the SPF, is that enough? Well, it will be what is kind of like a SPF of 10. And there are people that say you need to use an SPF of 50 and so on. But actually, if you look at the curve for SPF, then you will find that even SPF of 10 is actually rather some protection. It is actually about between 85% or 90% that it is shielding you from the UV light. So still rather a lot. But would I go out just using something that was only SPF 10? No, I would not, because also it depends on how much are you actually putting on. And usually what I am thinking when people are saying that some of those sunscreens that I don't like, they like, and I think that they are simply using not enough, and that will make a sunscreen perform better than if you are actually using the amount that you must use in order to get the right protection. So it might work better for you in the way that how it feels on the skin, but it will not necessarily protect you as much as you think if you're not using enough. So we have spoken about it before. How much should you use? Well, I've come across people saying about 1.25 milliliters, and that is kind of like, for me, when I tested it, is I use these teaspoons here. Here in England, usually you are told that you should use half a teaspoon, but that is really like how big is your teaspoon. But my teaspoon here, when I use half of one like that, it is about 1.25 milliliters, and I have this small one here, and there is 1 milliliter in it. So one thing to say when they are saying half a teaspoon, that means it is for your face, your ears and your neck. It's not for your shoulders, but just your neck, your face and your ears. So if you're putting on half a teaspoon on only your face, maybe you're getting a little bit more than you need, but in this instance, rather more than less. And as they say here in England, it is the minimum you should use when they are saying half a teaspoon for your face, ears and neck. So maybe you can see when you are looking at this one here, there are two phases in the bottle. So there is an oily phase and there is a watery phase, and you need to shake it well. They actually say down here, shake vigorously, and that means rather wild, so kind of like not just like this, it's more like vigorously. That's rather a lot. So yeah, I think that's enough. So it is it's a spray nozzle there is on, so one of these ones here. So how do you find out how much to use? Because the idea is that you're using this spray in order to make it easier to distribute on your body, but it is not that easy to find out how much half a teaspoon then is. So that is something you need to kind of like have a feel for before you start using it, kind of like how many pumps is it. So if we go like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we see how much is that, because I normally use this spoon here. I would say, so 10 of those are kind of like what I would say half of my teaspoons. And if we take the measure here, we just put it in here. That is actually just about 1 milliliter. So actually you need a little bit more, but that would be for your neck as well. So usually I skip the neck. I shouldn't, but I concentrate on the face. So one thing, when you use this stuff here, a lot of it will actually just be taken up by your hand. So be a little bit careful with that. So just put it in a puddle on your hand and then put it on. So if we just have a little look at how this does before it evaporates, because this is very, very liquidy. So here goes. Put it on like that. It has a sort of a perfume which is not overwhelming. Some sunscreens has rather overwhelming perfumes, and which I really don't like. But we just put it on like this. I was actually, when I used this, they say don't put it too close to your eyes, so I will not put it on my eyelids. So like that, and then on the forehead. And yes, this is for a demonstration purpose. So if you are really going out in the sun, you will obviously try and do it a little bit better, so you get it evenly distributed on your face. So now I would say I just have my normal moisturizers and stuff on. So just as usual. So this is the way I would use my sunscreen. So put it on like this. And it is, I would say it is rather easy to distribute, but if you're using it on a skin that has no moisturizer on, I would say this might sink in really quick. So there is something in here which is an ingredient you will find in a lot of skincare products, and that is aloe vera. And I find that it doesn't make you look shiny like a sunscreen can, but still it does, I would say it does make you look a bit glazed or something like that, but not in a way that if you're having something oily on your face that it kind of like emphasizes your pores. I don't think it does that, and I would say it kind of like very quickly goes really not like dry, like you are drying up, but it becomes less and less greasy really quick. But I found the other day that maybe I would prefer, if I use this one, to add a little bit of setting powder, and then not in order to set it, but just to mattify it a little bit, because though it's not kind of like oily on the skin, then I would say you still get this sort of sheen. And I think if you have used products that has a lot of aloe in it, then it kind of like gives a sort of a plastic kind of like look on your skin. So what I did, I went in and found this one here from Laura Mercier, my trusted setting powder, and just quickly, you need to have this stuff kind of like being non-greasy when you do this. But I just simply took a little bit of setting powder, voila, like that, and then on here a little bit more like that, and then just go in and dab it on. This is a translucent setting powder, so you will not be able to see it. So if you are a little bit afraid that you will look like you have powdered your face, don't be, because this is translucent, so you won't notice it. So kind of like that, it will start to take away the sheen, but it will not make you completely matte. So it kind of like, it takes the top off, and then after a little while you get this sort of a natural looking sheen. It's not too much, it's not enough. So yes, this would I use this one here again? Well, I would say there are some things in here. There are homosalate in it, which is a salicylic derivative. So we have spoken about that before, and that is not really great because it is a hormone disturber or hormone disruptor. So yes, I would say if you are really annoyed with the oily skin, I would say maybe if you are using a sunscreen, this could be a good choice. But usually choices with sunscreens comes with a little bit of something you don't want and something you want. It is a little bit tricky. But I would say I was pleasantly surprised with the way it performed on the skin. And if we just use it as it is supposed to be used, kind of like you spray it on like that, see how that looks. It is a little bit oily to begin with, but again it sinks in, I would say, relatively quick. It starts to be more satin kind of like, so it takes, I would say, maybe a minute or so, and then it will be have sunk into your skin. Yes, I would say if you have oily skin, maybe this was something to try out. But as I said, it has only 3 stars, so just think that it will not give you a super high UVA protection if that is what you want. But it is so that if you have oily skin, then maybe some of those products that will give you really high UVA protection might not be that well working on your skin. So yeah, it's kind of like, what do you want the most? I would say if you have oily skin, this is definitely something I would sort of try out. But be aware there are some ingredients in here that you might not like, both because it's not good for the environment and so on. And oxychlorine is one of those filters that are not particularly good for the environment. So it might be that they will make another version, a new one, where they take that stuff away. Thank you for watching, and if you would like to see more of this sort of videos, please subscribe, hit the bell, and do all the things you must do in order to be notified when I upload more of this sort of videos. Thank you for watching, see you, bye.